So listen, whenever you guys want to go live, I'm going to get out of here. Okay.
We're
Oh
set
goodness.
late already, but
Yo, hi everyone.
Well, I love you, so goodbye.
He still can be right on our show right in the beginning, right?
I,
Oh my goodness, it's been an interesting week. I tell you, I have. I don't know if it's still
like
full
Wednesday.
moon or what. What do you think?
I think it's supposed to be a
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday night of the Big Mouth. This is Amelia the
yes.
Pitbull Chapman, introducing my co-host Carrie. How did
I'm
you
the
want me
panda
doing
queen. How you
it? The
doing?
Panda Queen. There she is.
It's hump
Uh,
day.
yes, it is another hump day. It's been an interesting week, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. What a perfect way to start our hump day.
I know it's interesting. I don't know if it's the full moon or what, but I
Yep.
had another sad news in the wrestling world. We lost another wonderful wrestling legend,
Yes.
wonderful friend, Charlie Thunder Blood North. I hope I got that right for a certain person.
If
Uh,
I'm sure he'll pop in eventually.
no, it's another certain person that.
No, it's
Told
this
you.
Thunderfoot, Charlie Thunderfoot Norris.
Well, there you go. See, so I
I
hope
was
we got
waiting on
that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but
Okay,
I'm
I'm
in
going to leave you now.
mourning.
Okay, I love you all. Goodbye. Okay, bye.
He left his shoes in the ring, and God bless him. And fly with the angels,
Wow.
Charlie, till we meet again. You will be missed. Today's episode will be about body shaming. I was brought to my attention for Carrie, so I'm going to let her lead off on this one.
So, guys, I feel like this is a very important subject, not only for me, but for many people around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I'm guilty of it myself.
Yep,
I
me
have
too.
to say, I have said negative things about people and in a negative way. So I am, like I said, guilty of body shaming someone, but I also know how it feels to be body shamed. Um, and it doesn't feel good, especially when you're the recipient of it. But just imagine how that person is getting the hate from that. So wanted to talk about that tonight. Um, just a little bit, and we got some things to show you here later on. You know about it and everything else, but we're just going to talk about it and just have an open conversation of how we feel, and kind of go from there.
Absolutely, because when I was growing up, I used to be real skinny. I was at that part of it. Yeah, I was actually. I
I
was
miss
100 pounds before I got married, and now, of course, I gained all the weight after having the children. So I was at the other end of the stick. Okay,
oh
and you've probably seen that picture that I was telling you about, and I've lost the weight. And recently I did a live not too long ago on TikTok, and this gentleman didn't want to show his face. He's like, "Well, you
mm,
need to lose weight, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, you know what? I have lost weight. This is just extra skin that I need to lose. And I was like, you know what? So I didn't get banned off TikTok. I was like, well, what about you? Why are you not showing your face? Uh,
right.
are you the one that maybe should be losing the weight? Why are you embarrassed to show your face? And that's all I said because I did not want to get banned off of it.
Yeah.
And I
I,
said, why are you embarrassed?
when I was 15, I was about, well, 13, 14, 15 ish in like middle school or whatever.
Hmm.
I weighed like 140, 150 pounds. And I was literally at the threshold, the cutoff mark to be a cheerleader, because in my school, you
Hmm.
couldn't weigh over 150 pounds. I was 149. And I tried out and I made the team. And I was so excited about making the team, but I'm not preppy.
Hmm.
Look at me. I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm not a girly girl. I don't wear makeup. I wear it on special occasions. And I just didn't fit in because I was on the thicker side and all the other girls were super skinny. So I was like, ugh. So I found myself being a prettier girl to wearing baggy shirts and pants and stuff like that. When I turned 15, I wasn't as big, but that's when I actually met my husband when I was 15. And I was skinny and I actually wanted people to notice me then. So I did my hair up and all this, and I pretended to be something that I really wasn't inside, for the sake of getting that attention. But I met my husband, and then now I could care less because he's here and I've been
Mm-hmm.
with him for 20 years. So, but I still do my hair pretty sometimes, and I still do makeup sometimes, and I dress, nice when we go out places and stuff like that. But I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain, I lose, I gain. And as
Mhm.
soon as I lost all my weight after my second child, I got down to literally my highest was around 300. Not kidding. And I lost and I was almost at like 240. And I was happy with that because I wasn't big, I wasn't skinny, I was in the middle. I had a good plateau going. Then here comes my 2-year-old. So now I'm just like,
Well, you have
so,
a teenager, right?
but
Uh-huh.
it'll go back down eventually, but I want to do it at my own pace. So I get what
Right.
you're saying though with everything. Because my mom was actually pretty heavy all her life,
Mm-hmm.
and 62,
Mm-hmm.
and she just recently lost weight, but it's because she's sick, and so if she literally had surgery to remove her loose skin,
Mm-hmm.
she would probably be about a size 0, going
Right.
from a size 28.
That's my next step. I'm gonna be doing that. And you have a teenage daughter, right?
I
Right
do
now in school. And
almost
how is she taking that body shaming? Is she?
not too good really because she's very top heavy, and I mean I hate saying that on a live show, but she's top heavy like her mom, and she became that way at 8 years old. Like she started with developing into an actual woman at 8 years old, so her body changed. And when she would be out of school for the summer, she has autism, so she takes medicine during the school, but when she's at home she doesn't take the medication. So she gained a little bit of weight, and now she's back on it, so she's slimming back down. But people at school call her fat, they call her a
Mm,
troll, all kinds of stuff. And she literally just wears baggy hoodies, and she doesn't
right.
wear anything else. She doesn't want to wear other stuff because she's afraid that somebody's going to, talk to her in a bad way. So I mean, it's affecting our kids too. That's the
Oh, yes, especially when my daughter was in junior high school. Now she's 27 years old, and she used to say, "Mom, you better come down here. I'm going to get expelled from school." This little girl, because she had the body, and she's like,
right.
"Mom, I'm going to get expelled. You better come get me, or else I'm going to punch
I'm
this
about,
girl. You
well,
better." And she was at
hey,
the other end, but
like, but she's the kind of person, and I'm guilty of it too.
hmm
She's the kind of person that if somebody looks at you and says you're fat, she's going to turn and say, "Well, you are too," and say something bad.
hmm
And I mean, that's the problem with today's society.
hmm
We respond in that way because it hurts that person
it does. It's
instead.
very bad.
Okay, well, thank you, or whatever.
hmm
You acknowledge it in a negative way because you're hurt.
hmm
So they talk bad about you, you're gonna talk bad about them, and that's just how it is.
Oh, my daughter would come up to you and say, "What else don't you like about me?" That's what she would tell right in their face. But my niece is different. She's a little
Mhm.
heavy set everywhere. She just recently got married, and she would come home to my sister crying, and she would literally be the opposite to where she would eat and excuse my language, what you guys gonna say. She would come home and eat vomit.
I did
To
that when I was 7 years old. Can you
and
believe that?
mm,
And that's a true story. Let me
yeah.
tell you.
hmm
I was about 7 or 8 years old, and my mom was dating a man, and he was an older man, and he had grandkids or whatever, and they weren't married or nothing. But I had a crush on the grandson. Okay, his
hmm
name was Shane, and I liked him a lot. But
hmm
I was a chunkier little girl at 7. I
hmm
was 7 years old. I weighed almost 80 pounds, so I wasn't skinny and I wasn't fat, but I was, you know, and
hmm
I would literally go eat. Like we would go to Golden Corral or something like that, and I would eat at the
Uh-huh.
buffet. I'd go make myself throw everything up I just ate. Then I'd go back out and eat some more, just to whatever. And then I'd go throw
hmm
the up. And they were like, "Did you get full?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I literally had an empty stomach.
We got a message in the chat there saying the
Oh,
Mac
from
Daddy
that
and
day.
Mac Dog. Look at that. The school system needs to back the fuck off the personal family matters. Yeah,
Well, no,
pretty much.
well, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah,
I think it needs to be
they
taken
involved in
care of.
family.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, B.
Hey. Yeah.
That's a problem, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Des. That
Yeah.
is a problem, though. Like in this, not even in just in the school system environment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my daughter, as I told you, she has autism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she's seen a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and when she was going to the therapist, she was supposed to be talking to the therapist about depression and anxiety and what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in school and all this kind of stuff. And the woman was literally trying to convince my daughter that she needed to be this person that she didn't need to be. And I went into therapist and she was talking to me. And this is just an example. So nobody give me hate or anything for what I'm going to say.
Right.
But
This is a per se kind of thing, guys. Yeah.
so for instance, I went in there. Okay. And, she was talking about, well, if your daughter wants to be gay, she can be gay. Not saying I said this or anything, but just a response, I looked at her and I'm like, well, my daughter's not going to be gay because this is how we believe. I mean, it's kind of like that. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, well, blah, blah, blah. This is what I believe. So I'm the
Mm-hmm.
therapist. And I'm like, excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. Just because you believe a certain way
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I believe a certain way. And it's just about, I mean, it's just, the point is,
Mm-hmm.
the schools want the kids to be the way that they want them to be, and so do therapists and everybody else. And they make people think that something's wrong with them that's really not wrong with them.
Right. Yeah. And exactly. That's what's, the other part of what also says the schools allow this, and some even encourage body shaming. And that's the truth, because they do allow it, because they turn their heads and they're like, you know what,
My
just go along, get along. Yeah.
my daughter has complained to the principal multiple times, to
Mm-hmm.
the point that she's even made comments to herself or to people that she would literally, quote unquote, without saying to, whatever, that she was going to kill herself. And that brings into a lot of, should I say, preventative measures for your children,
Mm-hmm.
because bullying
Mm-hmm.
and body shaming and really anything that's negative towards them in a bad way causes them to do things like that. And
Yes,
suicide is a big deal these days,
it
especially
is.
for our youth. Even
Yes.
even people my age get to the point that they're just like, okay, I can't take this shit no more. I'm done. I'm tired of it, and whatever. And it
Yes.
is very dangerous. It's a dangerous matter because a
Absolutely, it is.
child such as my 14-year-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, who's to say if she doesn't just go in her room and just lay on her pillow and just, you never know what your kids are thinking.
Exactly. And that's right.
And
Jess, thank
parents,
you for that. Schools overstep a lot, and that's where the disciplinary issues and learning, something needs to change. Exactly. Because
exactly, I
schools
agree.
just make you, they turn their back on you, and it's like, you know what, go on, go to your next class. We don't care about that. And
Literally get pushed
it
down. I've seen
interesting, mostly of these schools are in the South, and that's the truth, because they just want to give you a diploma and that's it. Go on, that's it, you're done, because
this.
they don't care. They're there for a check.
I'm in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and the school, and I'm not knocking North Carolina for
No.
anybody else who lives in North Carolina, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the school system here sucks. It's horrible. I was in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Canton, Ohio for quite a long time.
Yes.
The school system there is top one. I'm not. I mean, I know people don't like northern states. People can say what they want, but the school system that I lived in, they were number one in the whole entire state, and
Mm-hmm.
that's no joke. They had the best school that my daughter went to, the best after school programs. She's seen the best doctors. And the cool thing about that is the school communicated with the doctors and the therapists so they can have a structured plan to
Mm-hmm.
help each other. And
Yes.
the thing, they were helping each other. Down here, nobody communicates with anybody. Literally, my
Exactly.
daughter's IEP meeting was about things that they could change and this and that and the
Mm-hmm.
other. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not even doing any of these things to make these changes. So why are we even here for this?
Yep.
Versus up there,
Mm-hmm.
they could say, "Oh, well, I seen Kaylee do this, and we talked to her doctor. And when she sees her doctor, this happens, and this." So
Mm-hmm.
we, and that's what it is. There's no
Right.
communication in the school, and it's bad because the teachers don't communicate with the parents. The
They
kids
don't.
don't communicate with the teachers because they're scared.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing happens. They
Exactly.
just give it away. Nothing happens.
And you remember, I mean, not to knock, like you said, not to knock down any state of schools or anything. Remember in Texas, the Uvalde shooting and everything like that happened. Look at
Yeah,
the police officers there. They took forever
it
to
was
supposedly,
horrible.
who was in command. I mean, not to knock any officers down or schools, but come on. and
Just
stay not day sorry, didn't proofread, like that, I guess Jess was trying to get a message out. But think about that, like you were saying, a suicide and everything like that. But in case the children want to do that, please don't do that, kids. There is a way. Talk to parents, talk to your counselors. If you, like you said, you don't feel safe, like schools, if you don't trust your school counselor, there is a suicide hotline prevention line you can call, 800-273-8255.
yes,
For the hearing impaired, it's 800-799-4889. Again, the suicide prevention hotline, 800-273-8255. The hearing impaired is 800-799-4889. So please, reach out to one of them. Please don't feel like you can commit suicide because of this body shaming. And I know that it's very severe because, you could take different forms. If you feel, you don't hear, if you're a selfish brat, you cry baby, if you hear something like that, reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be a family member that you trust. It could be a perfect stranger, a best friend that you maybe have thought of for a long time. It could be your best friend's mom, if you don't feel comfortable speaking to your parents, anything like that. If if you hear somebody talk to you like that, that's not right.
talk to a stranger.
Yeah,
I mean,
talk to a perfect stranger. Talk to somebody you feel comfortable with. Your favorite teacher, for one. I mean, because there is teachers out there that care.
I know
You
it
know.
sounds, but pick up the phone and dial a random number and see who
Yeah.
answers. Say, hey, look, I'm having a bad day. I just need somebody to talk to, and see
Right.
what they say. You never know. I mean, the least they can do is hang up on you.
Yeah.
But
And
you can vent.
it's not just happening to women. Do you know that happens to men as well? And
Yeah.
little boys, if you go have a paper route, there still is paper routes out there. Go knock on a door that, you talk to someone you feel comfortable with, a neighbor or something like that. Say, I need to talk to you. This has been going on to me,
Just
with me. This is the way I get talked to.
that about the men thing, and I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you, my husband's probably in here somewhere lurking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guilty of that myself, because when I get mad at him, the first thing
Mm-hmm.
I do is criticize him for his weight,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Mm-hmm.
can't judge because I'm just as equally as fat. I said it, again, but I'm just as equally as big. And so I know that it hurts his feelings. And that's my only way
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get at him. And I need to work on that within myself, because that's something I need to do, and
Oh, yeah.
and feelings, because I know how I feel, and I need to put that into perspective with everybody else. And like I told everybody on my lives before, I need to be a positive, role model. I
Mm-hmm.
need to set an example. If I'm going to be about positivity, I need to show the positivity to everybody around me, not just on a live screen.
Oh, yes.
But that's
Eh,
what I want to do. And so from here on out,
mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
got
yeah.
something to say. I'm going to say it in my head. I'm not going to say it out loud, because
Right.
it does affect people, and you really don't know how it affects that person.
No, and then all of a sudden they're like, if you see somebody eating, like all of a sudden a whole bunch, and then all of a sudden
I mean,
they're like,
um,
they're
I got here brownies.
uh-huh. And then I bet you're gonna be eating a lot, and you're like, well, where did she go?
I mean, I thought about
Mm.
literally eating one while I was on live, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're talking about body shaming, so what do I look like, a walrus over here eating this brownie? I'm kidding.
Uh-huh.
It's,
Okay, I have Jess here saying it's a bad day, not a bad life, and there's another route besides ending your life. There you go. You are loved, important, and it can be worked through. That's a good friend right there.
I love Jess. She is a
Mm-hmm.
very positive person, and she, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, you have to have people you can talk to, and I've got a tight circle of
Mm-hmm.
people,
Right.
and literally
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going through different stuff. Everybody in that circle has their own
Mm-hmm.
thing, but
Yeah.
they're there for each and every one of
Uh-huh.
us,
You
and
know,
you just
right.
have to have somebody you can
Mm-hmm.
trust.
Oh,
And if you
absolutely.
can't, then find somebody you think you
Mm-hmm.
can. And
Oh, yeah.
there's
Yeah.
millions in this world. There's somebody that you can talk to.
Oh, absolutely. And and I think that, with that, going along with that, have you ever we also usually like to show videos regarding that and everything like that. And I think that right now would be a good time to show something regarding about that. And
Sure.
we can,
Let's watch it. Let's check it
okay.
out.
And hopefully we'll have that coming soon. See that there? Stop right there. Look at that. Everybody's just pointing to her right there. Look at that. Just And that right there, that's a celebrity right there. Stop right there for a second. Right there. See right there, look at that. I mean, that's a pretty picture of a girl right there that somebody can be made fun of.
And
Right.
this one right
Okay.
here, this is Kanye West, and that's Lizzo, right?
Right.
Now, I've seen some pretty negative stuff about Lizzo. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If I stood up, my body size is not. I mean, I'm not as big, but I'm a little bit smaller than her on the small side. But just because she's big, okay, does not mean that she can't be beautiful and wear the beautiful clothes.
Right.
I've seen people get bashed for wearing tube tops because they're too fat, and that's not right.
And she won an award, I think, at the Grammys. I think she like won the main award or something like that.
Yep, she did. She sure did.
That's that. What do you think about that one right there?
That's a good one because even though she's not too skinny and she's not too big, she's just, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say perfect because we're all not, but she's happy.
She's having fun. She's having fun no matter what. She's happy. Exactly. How about that one right there?
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah, good bathing suit. She's a model. She's happy, you know, and they have swimsuit models like that shape inside.
By the way, that is a gorgeous.
That Bonnie girl. And that one is funny right there too. You see that one? It says "Love Thyself." That's a perfect picture right there. I guess she's taking care of her daughter right there for a second. That one looks like she's a little upset. Maybe she's not liking herself right there in that picture. It looks like she's not really wanting to be in that picture, but she's kind of ashamed. But she's wanting to take a picture, but she's kind of self-conscious. This one looks like she is having fun. She's like a little sexy looking. And this one right here, so they lost this weight. All these, remember the picture before that?
The one before that?
Yeah, where they showed Adele and then we're a little bit overweight. This one right here is that she's all sexy. This one right here, and then this one's Adele when they've lost all this weight.
Yeah, that's after the weight. Yeah.
They did. Oh, they did great. This one, he's like, This one right here is lady weightlifters. Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all about being body positive with yourself. But you got to do that. There's something deeper going on that you need.
Right. This one, I'm not about this one, but
I can't do that.
You had to cover up. I don't know if that's before or after, or that's overweight. See right here, this is what I was talking about the gentleman.
I love this. Isn't that what is that?
Vertigo or vitiligo, something like that. But my mom has that disease.
Vitiligo or whatever.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's called vitiligo.
There you go.
Vitiligo.
That's what Michael Jackson allegedly had.
My mom has that. Vitiligo.
Okay, I love you all. I'm leaving now. Bye.
My mom has that. He's happy. Look at him.
That looks like. But my husband's more attractive.
My Jeff was like that, but he's lost. He was 427 pounds.
Harry, did you just body shame that poor bastard by saying that your husband was more attractive?
But he is more attractive. He's
That's
just
called a
Hey.
dad bod. Now it's
It's a
interesting.
dad bod.
I don't
It's
care about the
interesting.
bod. I'm just
I
saying.
have to speak up as a man. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay,
Because something
too.
struck me as interesting. When it came to women, everything that I read, when it came to women, they called it body shaming. But yet, a guy with a beer gut, it's called a dad bod.
But it is.
It
You
absolutely
have
is.
kids, you don't care, and you just do.
No, it absolutely is for sure.
Well, then
Let's see what everybody else has to say.
we got mom.
Yes. Let's see. Jeff. B. Cruz is like got
She's
the
like,
tears. Jeff. I
That's
don't know.
my
Which, oh, is that your husband?
yes.
Hey, Dirt Digger. How you doing, brother?
He's laughing.
I'm not disciplined enough to be a body, but me either, sister. Me either.
Oh, no.
A mom told me once that put on that swimsuit and make those memories with your kids. Show them that positivity and embrace your curves. Well,
Yes.
we've seen. Look at Lizzo.
Mhm.
Look at Adele. But by the way, every one of those women in that picture, what do they all have in common? They all have body dysmorphia.
Yep.
Including Katy Perry, who bordered on anorexia for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now she's just fucking nuts in the head. But
We
let's
got to go there, that one.
I lost a lot of weight, and I had a swimsuit like that one time when I was that big. I did, and I have a picture to prove it that I was overweight at one time.
I'm
here
still
we
like
go. My partner has an ET belly, but he is very handsome
Here,
though.
Bill.
Mhm.
A big.
Oh, I got you. I
Yeah.
see it. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, cool. I tell you what, this is a great. This is almost. Let's finish this out
Okay.
because I have to leave you guys in a minute. I've overstayed my welcome here.
Overstay. Even though that they have some weight on them, they're still so positive in their pictures.
Oh yeah, they're
Absolutely.
happy. That's what I
And
love about those pictures.
That's what I want. Carrie, you just brought
Mhm.
the critical point of the night. I showed a bunch of different pictures of heavy people, skinny people, muscular people, guys with beer guts, guys with vitiligo. The interesting thing is what you said was they're all embracing positivity.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so if someone that you're with has that negativity toward you and you have that positivity toward yourself, something's got to give, and it's probably going to be that person. You don't need to hang around or have friends that are going to bring you down.
No.
And because body shaming is not a one-dimensional crisis.
No.
It's a three-dimensional crisis that affects you, the person you're with, and the people who you're in contact with. It affects everybody. Let me just read something to you real quick, because I put something up here that we haven't really addressed yet. The body shaming. What is it? Here's what they define as body shaming: the action or practice of mocking or stigmatizing someone by making critical comments about the shape, size, or appearance of their body. Fat, skinny, muscle head. How many times have you heard that? Is that a guy or how many
It
times
could be
have
a
you
guy
heard,
or a
is that
girl.
a guy or a girl?
It could be both.
We
don't know.
That's a valid point because we live in a society where he and she is now could be a he, she.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I guess. Or whatever.
Look, we're living in a society, Carrie and Amelia, where in school they're telling 5-year-olds you can identify with any gender you want.
Yep.
Exactly. You want to talk about body shaming? Oh boy, did you open a Pandora's fucking box.
It's
And I absolutely hate the school system for doing that. Let me just read this to you real quick because I really do have to get out of here. See,
we got to do a commercial.
Yeah, I do. I was telling Amelia about that. What is the actual meaning of body shaming? The act or practice of subjecting someone to criticism or mockery for supposedly body faults or imperfections. Well, guess what? If that's the case, we're all imperfect. We all have
exactly.
There's not one of us that is ever going to meet that standard. That being said, I'm going to hit a commercial now, and when we come back, you'll see me. I won't be here no more.
Okay? Balls, y'all.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we. What's Buzz Podcast wants to welcome Radioactive FM 88.6 in Wellington, New Zealand, Radio Perth, Australia, and RTL Radio 102.5 in Milan, Italy. Welcome aboard, and welcome to the Buzz.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We were discussing body shaming. If you're joining us a little late. We were just discussing body shaming, different types of body shapes. And I actually, my stepson got married a few years ago, and I was a lot overweight. And we were talking about, how to be happy with what you look like and everything like that. And I was like so overweight. I bought this real pretty pink dress, and I was like, oh my gosh, I look so big in this dress. And my son he walked me down to my seat, and he says, Mom, you look so beautiful. And remember, I'm, stepmom. And he's like, Mama, you look just so beautiful. And I was like, really? He goes, oh, yes, you look prettier than the bride. I said, no, I don't. He goes, yes, you do. So he made me look so just happy, So he sat me down. And, of course, we did our mother-son dance. And it was just.
He's the sweetest.
Oh, yes. And I just felt so good in my dress and everything. And after a while, I looked at myself. I said, oh, my gosh, I got to lose weight. But it just made me so happy for that one moment,
See, I never went to prom. Well,
I didn't go to prom either. I didn't.
I never went to prom because I didn't really want to buy a dress.
Right.
I didn't actually get married. Like I'm supposed to get married. I got married in a courthouse with a t-shirt because I didn't really want to wear a dress. I'm not a dress girl.
Right.
But I go on cruises. They have the, special dress up nights. So I do buy a dress from that. And to me, I think I look pretty in it. But when I walk out, I'm wondering what everybody else is thinking when they look at me because I am a big girl.
Who gives a shit what anybody thinks? You are beautiful. So
exactly.
And if Dirt Digger thinks that you're hot, and I'm telling you you're beautiful, then tell them everybody to go fuck off. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to leave now. Okay, bye.
I just got to look beautiful for one night next year, and that is for my daughter's wedding. And she's thought about wearing. She said, "Mom, it's gonna be maroon color." I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
That's what kind of dress I actually had. When I went on my first cruise, I actually had pictures I could show you. When I went on my first cruise, I bought this maroon colored. It was like a lacy kind of dress, and it had sparkles on it, but it was a halter neck.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cut off, and I got it from Torrid. Believe it or not, I got it from Torrid, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear this, and it was. I mean, of course, it's spandex, so I needed it in all the right places, but my husband didn't complain.
That's the only person that counts, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to anybody else really.
Oh, as long as you're comfortable in it, that's the main thing.
I've told my husband, look, I am not trying to start over with nobody else. I've been with you for 20 years, and if you go somewhere, then I'm just gonna stay single because I don't want to start over. I know you know me, and ain't nobody else gonna put up with your shit. So. And you're right, Mr. Jeff. He will be back.
He'll find something to say to put in there, right?
Ain't that right, Mr. Invisible Man?
Invisible Man. He's not saying a word. You know he's gonna want to say something.
Oh, I know he does. It's burning him up back there.
But one good thing that you can always say something to someone is like, tell your friend that you know that's gonna be going through something that they're very beautiful and perfectly perfect. You don't need to change themselves unless you
Yeah,
don't want to help them. Join them with a walk, go with them. Say, point out how they're grateful that how they are, their bodies keep them alive. Point out their talents, they're amazing.
I tell
Cultivate self love. Stuff like that.
I tell my daughter that all the time because she wants to try to do and change things about herself to impress everybody else, and I'm like, who cares about everybody else?
Right. Yeah.
Are you with yourself?
Yeah, I told
What
my
are you
niece
doing?
the same thing. I said, don't worry about anybody else. I said, you're beautiful. You've got this beautiful face. I said, you're beautiful hair. I said, who cares what anybody thinks? You could be the most beautiful bride everybody's ever seen. And she was. I mean, and now she's a manager of a store. She has her better
Yeah.
hours and everything. And I said, look where you're at right now. You started as a sales clerk, and look at you now. I said, now you have to tell everybody what to do. Think about that. And I said, you've moved up. And she's going to school. She's going to college for full time as well. And
Stop.
hi, Trista. Oh, mwah. And you're beautiful too, sweetie. And she's marine biology. She's going to school to be a marine biologist. And she's paying for college on her own. And she just recently got married. Can you believe that? Yeah.
Brought like when she come into the chat, she actually brought something up for me. Okay.
Mhm.
And I wanted to mention this to people
Go ahead.
because this is a very big subject too. Like another form of body shaming, right?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not calling anybody out and I'm not saying it, anything bad about it.
Mhm.
I know quite a few people that have dentures. Let me
Mhm.
just say that.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people that do, and I've come into a lot of people. Hell, let me be honest with you. I thought about pulling all my teeth out and getting some damn dentures because I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that do feel so bad for letting people know that hey, their teeth are technically not real teeth.
Mhm.
That just don't, or
Yeah.
they don't leave their house because they're afraid somebody's going to judge them for it. My mother, let me tell you this. My
Mhm.
mother, 62. I don't know.
Mhm.
She was 53. I can't do the math. I'm
Yeah.
sure Anna will pop in and tell me how old she is. Uh, but he'll do the math for me. But she started losing her teeth when she was around 29, 30 years old.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she has a gum disease because she's diabetic. And
Mhm.
she lost most of her teeth. So she had to get dentures.
Mhm.
But do you know that she will not leave her house without her teeth?
Yeah.
And my daughter's tearing up all her clothes all over the floor.
Well, that's what my Jeff. He got his teeth pulled out recently. Now he wears dentures and he loves them. He said he recommends that for everybody.
You know what?
And yeah.
It's teeth out. Yeah.
I've worn dentures
See, there you go. There's my man.
for 25 years.
Uh-huh.
Best thing I ever did.
Uh-huh.
And I bet you know what? They say
When you have your teeth removed,
Uh-huh.
your body health is healthier.
Mhm.
You're not prone to infection as much.
Mhm.
You taste
I got to step away.
food the way it's supposed to taste,
Mhm.
all because your mouth is in a blank slate now.
Oh yes. And
Okay, I'm going to leave now. Take
my
care.
my dad's father, my grandfather, he had his teeth removed when he was 21. He had no choice because he was riding a horse. Well, back then they had to do chores way early before they started school. So he was helping pull a horse and doing some, I don't know if it was yard work or whatever they had to do. I guess removing hay from one end to the barn to the other. My grandfather was 21 and he had a horse knock him in the mouth. And my grandfather at the age of 21 had to have dentures
Oh,
at that age. He had no choice. So my grandfather at the age of 21 had to have dentures.
wow.
So at that time, so
I've
he,
seriously considered it though.
Mhm.
Now, look, my husband, he actually has 1, 2, 3. I think 4 of these teeth are fake, and it's
so partial.
partial.
Hmm.
And you can, so I know he doesn't like it too much. And he, at first, when he had it happen, it
Hmm.
was just one tooth,
Hmm.
and then that partial piece or whatever wasn't staying in, so they had to remove the other whatever.
Hmm.
And at first, when he first got it, I knew that looking at himself or him having it and people looking at him, I know that it had to make him feel uncomfortable because it's different.
Yes, it is very different.
And I told him, I'm like, why don't you just go ahead and have them, get this to kind of even it out, or even help. Literally, I swear to God, if I could get fake teeth, I would, because I just get so tired of them. And I mean, I hate to say that, but I do. I just really don't like it.
Yeah, recently there was somebody that I knew on Facebook that ended up in the hospital because of that disease of the mouth because of the teeth, and we thought it was COVID or something, but it wasn't. So, and there's somebody in the chat right there saying that.
Trista, here's what I was talking about. I wear dentures, best thing she ever did. Put it back up there.
She wasn't finished reading.
No more pain. I won't leave my house without them. I'm embarrassed to show myself on video without them. I just got them done last April. Well, you know what? With or without your dentures, you're still very beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, she's very beautiful. And I've seen her without them. And without them, she's still beautiful. It doesn't matter if you have teeth, if you have nose, whatever. You're still beautiful. I've seen people, and you know what? I hate to say this, and people might be like, what? When I say this, but my cousin, the mother of his kids, I won't say baby mama because that's kind of stereotypical.
Yeah, right.
But the mother of his children, she had a cleft palate. She had it removed or whatever. And I mean, I think it's so unique, but I think it makes her beauty so much more because she actually went through it, and like it's like a beautiful transition to actually to do that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's not a deformity. I think it's beauty. I really do.
Yes.
I mean, that might sound weird to say, but I think that's very beautiful.
Oh yeah, even if you have like a little freckle or some kind of a little mark right here like that, people, or even look at the, why is that like that? Or even with thinning hair, people certain places and stuff like that. No matter what, it's what you have in the inside that counts, not the outside appearance.
Just to judge people in today's society because they're so used to seeing all these models and the perfectionists on TV, and there for a while you didn't see plus size people in movies and plus size people on TV shows. And then you started seeing actresses like Melissa McCarthy and, the woman that plays on the show This Is Us. What's her name?
On This Is Us.
I can't think of her name. But you see her in there and it's like, oh my God, I can relate to these people now because I'm a heavy set woman, and I can actually relate to them versus this little size 2, -2, extra small that, barely.
Yeah.
That's what today's society wants you to be. They want you to be so skinny that you look like you're starving yourself. And that for one, it's unhealthy.
Right.
And two, it doesn't have to be that way to impress people.
Exactly, because, just like the Voice, the TV show. You know how American Idol, you have to have this perfect impression of them and like that. But The Voice, they only hear your voice. They turn around and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And a lot of people have won, no matter what body shape they are.
That when you have to judge people by their looks first and not by what they bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Horrible, But listen, my husband will tell you he doesn't care about anything because he likes my big butt, my boobies, and my belly. He's not cool. So we're good.
Yeah, we're perfect just the way we are.
What red-blooded man doesn't want nice boobies and a nice ass?
I want that ass is nice.
Are you in here for another commercial?
I got the perfect 10. My wife's a 5 and a 5. All right, listen, I'm up against a hard break, you guys. Hold on.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so I have to bring something up here.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about your husband says he
Oh my
can't keep,
Lord.
and I had to bring that up for a
And
reason.
that's true.
I'm the same way with Anita. Okay, she'll walk around here looking so delicious. I can't keep my hands off her ass.
I don't even look
I just can't.
at
In the morning when she's getting ready for work, when she comes home from work, I let her walk in front of me just so I could see her ass.
He
That's
comes
my
in
wife.
for work, and I'm on my computer trying to work, and I'm literally sitting this way, and he'll reach around and go, "Wick, wick, wick, wick," and I'm like, "I'm taking a call."
I knew there was some reason I loved the dirt digger. Okay. We are coming up on the end of the show. I'll tell you what. Thank you to Trista and Jeff, and thank
Yes.
you
Thank you, everyone.
to who else did we Jess.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Mhm.
Jess for popping in here. We had a really nice chat room tonight.
Some people tried to comment, but they were like, "I can't."
I know. I was like, she'll be quiet. I can't even get ready for work myself. I'm like, get out of here.
Well, Amelia, tell everybody what's coming up.
I was gonna have you tell them what was coming up.
Okay. Well, tomorrow night we are doing What's the Buzz? We are doing the round table. Our newest show is called What's the Buzz? The Popcast Roundtable. We're going to do that every Thursday. Amelia and I, and occasionally Carrie will pop in. And we're going to talk about the news of the week, what happened on our shows that particular week, who is still with us and who isn't. They're all gone. Carrie's the only one that survived the cut. Yeah. But that's because we had a chance to talk privately.
Yeah.
Good lady.
Getting
We
chicken.
have a couple of interesting weeks coming up. Next week, we're going to do, I want to make sure I get this right, because we are going to do, we weren't going to do Michael Jackson tribute, but our Michael Jackson guy decided to take a powder.
A flying leap.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We're doing the Georgia Guidestones on the 16th, next Thursday. On the 14th, I think we're going to do open forum. What we'll do next Tuesday is we'll have open questions from the audience, and we'll just talk about everything. Carrie, if you want to join us for that, you're more than welcome.
Will do.
Okay, we'll start at 7, but you could pop in anytime you wish. Okay, I'll make sure Amelia gives you the link.
And I have no idea what our show is yet because we haven't discussed it.
What happened?
And I don't know what our show next week is yet because we haven't discussed it.
No, well, see, you guys have the luxury of being able to just go on the fly, which you could do that. But I'm sure before you leave tonight, we'll figure it out.
Honestly, I think what we want to do is
because I got a couple of real interesting topics for the two of you. I want to tell everybody, if you've seen lately, we've been going through a couple of different co-hosts. There will no longer be a co-host on Tuesday nights. I am going solo with Blunt Talk. We're going to keep Blunt Talk, and I am the Mac Daddy and the Mad Dog. So there you go. There you go.
He's a Mac Daddy.
But if I can get Carrie's husband, I can make him the Mac Daddy, and I'll be the Mad Dog.
If he was at work, Dick and Holt would most definitely be on here. But I'm telling you, you'd have to censor him because he's just as bad.
There's no censoring here at all.
Oh no, I'm joking, but that's what I mean. He's just.
Oh no, it's open forum. I love.
There's no censoring allowed.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
No, seriously, there's no censoring allowed.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was a good show tonight. I'm very happy with everything. So what did we learn about body shaming is that we all do it to each other. We all are guilty of it.
Oh, absolutely. At one time or other.
Every one of us are perfectly imperfect. That's what makes us amazing human beings. Jeff says, my mouth is sexualized.
It is.
So the fuck is mine, brother.
It is very badly. He's always talking about dick and balls.
Jeff, do you want to be a co-host one night?
I'm going to have
from his machine, but he would definitely do it.
I will
I'm
do it.
serious.
I got news for. I'll do it. I'll bring him on. He's that one.
I'm serious, Jeff. You should be a co-host on a Tuesday
Well,
night.
I'll tell you what, Neil, if there's nothing else to do, we're going to say goodnight to everybody.
I think it was a great
So
show. Thank you, everyone.
Jared, the Panda Queen Jeffries. For Amelia, the big mouth of the South. The Pitbull Chapman. You got a lot of nicknames, kid.
I'm going to have to shorten it down. Everybody
the Mad
pick one
Dog
for me.
DeCipio. Will you let me finish this show?
It's our show tonight.
Oh, well, you know what? Go ahead. Finish it up.
Go ahead. You finish.
No,
it.
go ahead. You go.
What he's trying to say is it's a wrap. Good night.
There you go, Carrie. You did a perfect job. It's a wrap, kids.
It's a
Good
wrap.
night.